I remain with my bearish bias on Bitcoin, expecting lower prices to come. Inside of this video, I'm going to be telling you the exact reasons why I remain bearish, the targets that I have, and the new trade setups that we're going to be looking at for the week ahead. So I hope that you thoroughly enjoy this video, learn a lot, and yeah, get ready for the profits that are going to be coming to us. So yeah, champions, the way I'm going to approach this video is I'm going to actually review the past few weeks here. Okay, I'm going to start off here so you can understand the context, give you a few different insights, very important insights, pass on some knowledge. Then we're going to be moving on to the current price action, okay, what we're looking at for today. And then I'll be ending with, the week ahead view and the trade setups that we have there. All of the information that I'll be sharing with you in this video is important. Okay, so let's start off with the contextual view of the current chart. So obviously our low was put in here down at around $24,850. That was where we formed the intraday swing failure pattern, okay, onto the NPOC, which, as you all know, was a long trade setup for myself and many champions. Okay, from here I was very vocal on each of my videos saying, do not short Bitcoin yet, look for higher prices. No shorts, look for higher. No shorts, look for higher, right? And I remained with that bias up until the very high where we formed here above $27,000. At this point here, I still remain bullish. There were no bearish factors for me. There was no bearish patterns. There was no bearish order flow. I remained very vocally bullish at this time after my long from down here at the lows. But that changed. As I told you, I was wrong. I am no longer bullish. I am now getting ready for the drop. I am expecting now lower prices to come. And what was that reason for the change? It was as we formed more data, I changed the charts. I understand what I'm looking at, and I changed my bias now to looking for lower prices to come. Of course, I also updated this over on the Twitter. So if you follow us over on Twitter, you'll know that we also had this lovely, reason to change. And what, like I was saying here, an egotistical trader would ignore the new data of the bearish order flow, of the new bearish patterns, and just want to be right? They're just bullish, stuck in their ways, ignoring all the new signs. I removed my ego, I removed my emotions. I saw the bearish order flow, I saw the bearish patterns, and I've told you all, now let's just get ready for a drop. We got to update our bias with the new data that we've got in on the charts. This is what we called at Chart Champions trading the charts. Okay, accepting, there's no ego to be had here. Let's just look at making profits. And profits we made as I made that correct call for you all, as we did get the drop. We did get a move to the downside. And here we are after that subsequent move down, and I'm still remaining bearish here. I'm still looking for lower prices. That triangle target has now been hit here today, this morning. Well, actually Sunday night, depending on, I'm in Asia right now, so this was for me at like 3 a.m. But in UK time around 8 p.m, we're starting to hit that triangle target. And I also made it very clear. I'm going to read you through a few posts here just so you can see the transparency that I give to my team. So obviously originally calling for that drop here while we're inside of the triangle. From here, we obviously do start to get that drop very nicely indeed. Telling my team as we're breaking down, I'm remaining patient for lower. Still want to see at least the NPOC for the triangle target. Okay, that we have, which was just below the NPOC. Okay, from here, we obviously come down. We slightly front run the NPOC. And this is why I told my team, I've not longed here. Okay, I'm looking for lower. The reclaim of the value area low would be my sign to change bias. But for now, I'm remaining bearish. Okay, I am remaining bearish, expecting lower to come. See if we get that SFB onto the NPOC. But I made it very clear to my team. Okay, nothing is changing for me over the past 48 hours of this range. Bias remains the same for lower prices to come. Okay, I'm still remaining, bearish, while there's no reason to, get overly excited here. Of course, this was a potential long as we SFP this low. But I even told my team in the Champions live stream, didn't take the long, not taking a long now. I'm looking for lower prices. And then actually what was lovely was during the Champions stream, we actually then saw the bearish divergences started to form here locally. So we just had a lot of reasons to remain looking for lower. And then I woke up. This is 9 a.m. for me, but 2 a.m. UK time. Woke up to this where we had then seen another breakdown. And for me now, it's just become very clear, nice way to wake up for lower prices. For me, no long trade yet. There's no trades for me at the long because I'm still now waiting now lower for my next target, which is the weekly. So you can see how I'm approaching this. I mark out my levels. Okay, I understand the data and the order flow that I'm looking at. From here, I'm making very well informed decisions. I just want to say this. Can you imagine I published this video saying I was wrong, get ready for the Bitcoin drop, and then price had got a massive increase in price? I can only imagine what I can only imagine how the comments section would have been. Thankfully, I've told you this. I trade with a high confidence. I'm able to publish such videos, even admitting I was wrong, because when I am incorrect, I'm happy to admit it. This is a game of trading. Not everybody's, it's not possible to win 100% of the time. At times we have to, remove that bias, say we've misread some information or we've got some new information necessary to change our bias. I was very, I was correct on this call. We got lower, thankfully, and here we are back down around $26,000. So I'm remaining bearish here, as I mentioned. That first part of the video is explaining to you the context, how I originally took that long, brought it up to 27k, and then I saw new data in the charts for me to change my bias, look for lower, and thankfully we got lower, right? And now from here, I'm still looking for lower prices. You might be wondering why. What's the target? What's happening next? Well, I'm actually now looking for around this weekly. This is a zone. I wouldn't class it from here, from 26k, but I've got this zone which goes slightly below the level 2, because within this we have the monthly point of control, we have the CC, we have the weekly itself, right? So we're looking from just above the weekly to give us a little bit of a zone, because we have a lot of confluence here. So this is my next zone that I'm looking for. So I'm looking for another drop to the downside here. I've not longed yet. Okay, with this zone is the way that I'll always approach my trade. So the way that I approach the trade when we come down to my target here will be looking at the lower term time frame, order flow, and strength in the market. So within here we are looking at things such as the order book. We're looking on the tape. We are looking at, looking to see how many orders are being added, removed. This is what we get from the depth of market DOM. We're combining that with the order flow, where we're looking at things such as the delta, the volume, CVD. Okay, we can start to really make things complex when we're looking at the HL candles and the trade counts and the speed of the candles they're being formed. For that, we use things such as trend rev candles, or we can use volume candles. So things can get fairly complex and complicated when you are looking for the entry trigger at very important critical levels. I would always tell you this. If you want to know, for me, there's two options when we hit my target zone. It will be option number 1, which is no strength. There's only weakness, and I will not long and continue to look down for lower prices, my next target. Okay. Alternatively, we come here, we get a very good bullish reaction, very nice switch in order flow, and then we'll actually be looking for that long trigger to look for a reversal back up. If you struggle with that information, then obviously the first place I'll always give my trade updates. I'll give my bias. I'll give, exactly how I'm trading it. The first place I'll always give that update is for the champions inside of the champions Discord. Okay. This is where I, will give my biases. This is where I'll give my trade opinions, exactly what I'm looking for next. Okay. Inside of the champions membership. So if you want that information, trades before anybody else, it will always be posted first inside of the champions membership group. Okay. Alternatively, you can learn from us, which is what we teach. Okay, we teach you all the tools necessary to make those informed decisions yourself. So if you would like to learn and fish for yourself without having to wait on myself, then of course we offer that as well, because we have the whole course of educational library from beginner, okay, up to master level, where you've got the advanced strategies, you've got the TPO, you've got the volume, you've got the footprints, you've got Atos software, Exo software, everything necessary to learn and make those decisions yourselves. If you want the guidance, well, then we also give that over via the Discord, right? But yeah, basically I'm looking for another subsequent drop here to the weekly. And we'll always have an invalidation, and that is if we start to reclaim this NPOC. Then that would be, okay, we actually pivoted at the $26,000 psychological, and if we reclaim that, then again, I'd have to admit, hey, I was wrong here. I'm looking for lower currently. If we bounce from here, I missed that trade. I was wrong on looking for lower prices, okay? But as it stands, I do not believe I'm wrong. I do not believe we'll get our target zone hit. For like front runner missed. I believe that we will get our target hit down here. Again, I want to remind you one final time that this is a zone. It's not a exact dollar here. I'm looking at the zone of the weekly. But for me, this is not quite hit the zone yet, so I'm looking for another low. Then we could look for maybe an SFP of this low, right? So for me, that's my bias. It's looking down towards my next target. When I hit my next target, I'm going to analyze here the order flow and the volume that comes into the market. From there, I make an informed decision of executing a long trade or remaining, short, looking for lower prices. For me, it's a simple game now of remaining patient, keep analyzing the market, keep analyzing the volume. Again, this is why it's important to remove that bias, because if I see something change in the charts, I will, of course, update you all. But as it stands, it's important to keep you reviewing that order focus. Imagine if I'd had my bullish bias and I was not looking for new information here. I had just slept on the new patterns. I'd slept on the bearish order flow forming. And then I'm suddenly seeing price go from 27,000 to 26,000. I'm missing out on a big move. And that's the importance. This was a beautiful example. It really was of, having to keep on top of the market, even when it's quote unquote boring or sideways action. You got to be on top of the market. You can't sleep on the market. You cannot ignore it. You cannot, get distracted. You got to analyze, come in here every day and, really, keep on top of things if you want to be the best. And, naturally as a champion, I want to be the best. I'm not here to be second best to anybody. So, that means I got to work the hardest. And, that's something I'm very proud of. So, we made the correct decision there on calling for the drop. We've got the drop. I'm not longing yet. I'm looking for another drop. That's my target zone. From there, I'll make another informed decision. If we get the reaction I want, I'll look for the long, because this for me is very, very big, important support. If we unfortunately don't get that reaction, then I'll simply look down towards my next level in a level-to-level trading environment as always. Thank you ever so much, everybody. I truly hope that you've understood the insights, how I understand and read this information, and, slowly each video it's becoming more and more understandable, and you're able to follow along and, make some profits alongside us. If you want more precise guidance, the community, the educational content, you get all of that via chartchampions.com. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it there. I'm going to say thank you ever so much. I hope you've enjoyed, and that's me signing out. Thank you and goodbye.